Hi folks, this video is on volume of a cylinder. Now, a cylinder is a special type of prism where the end face of the cylinder is a circle. Now, as we've looked at before, the volume of a prism is the area of the face multiplied by the height of the prism. Now, in this case, the area of the face, well, this is the area of a circle. So we need to work out what the area of a circle is in the first place and then multiply by the height. And as a recap from what we've looked at before, the area of a circle is given by pi r squared. So pi multiplied by the radius squared. Now the radius of a circle is from the length from the centre of the circle to the edge of the circle. That is the radius. And bear in mind, not the full way across, because some questions could give you the full length across. In that case, you'd have to divide it by 2. It's just from the centre of the circle to the edge. So that's what our r is, or our radius. And pi, for these examples, we are going to take pi to be the number 3.14. Now, the number pi is actually a wee bit more, a much longer decimal that we would write out, and we'd never actually be able to write it out in full because it goes on forever. But right now, for the number pi, we are just going to use the number 3.14 when we input it into a calculator. Okay, so that's how we work out the area of a circle. Now, to combine that with the full volume of a cylinder, where we just continue this formula here. So volume is equal to area multiplied by the height. So the volume of a cylinder is going to be the area of the face, which was a circle, pi r squared. So it's going to be pi r squared multiplied by the height of the cylinder. Or you may sometimes see it written without the multiply sign. So you might sometimes see it written as pi r squared h, all in one go. Okay, so that's our volume of a cylinder. So any cylinder we try to work out the volume of, we're going to use that formula. And just again, just bear in mind that pi, we're going to use 3.14 for pi, and the radius is the centre of the distance from the centre of the circle to the edge of the circle. But let's, so here's a nice one for you to just copy into your jotter, and then we'll look at a few examples of actually using this formula. Okay, so example 1, calculate the volume of the cylinder shown. Now, because it's a cylinder, what I'm going to do first of all is write down the formula. So volume is equal to pi r squared multiplied by my height, pi r squared h. Next thing I'm going to do is input all the values for each of these numbers, just so I've got all the numbers out that I can work out. So pi, I'm going to use 3.14, and I'll always use 3.14 for pi for the foreseeable future. So 3.14 multiplied by r squared, so 6 squared. So that 6 is from the centre of the circle to the edge, so that's my radius, multiplied by the height, which is 20. So I've got this big calculation here, but in any of these questions, they'll just be calculator questions. So all you need to do here is take your calculator and type it in exactly as it is there. So 3.14 multiplied by 6 squared multiplied by 20. Okay, so again, just make sure you copy this into your calculator correctly as well. So you might want to just do this along with me just to make sure you're getting it correct. And just double check that your answer does indeed come out to be 2,260.8. So this is a volume that comes out, and I should put my units on there. So we're in centimetres, but because it's a volume, it's cubic centimetres. There we go. Okay, so what you could do is just rewind the video again, just have a wee go at the question again, and just to make sure you can do it from memory, and then you've got the solution here to double check. But we'll jump on to another example. Okay, so we have a can of soup, and we want to find out the volume. Now bear in mind, this can is still in the shape of a cylinder, so the question really is, what is the volume of this cylinder? And the way we do this, again, once we have identified it's a cylinder, we write down the formula for the volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared multiplied by the height. Okay, so again, pi is just the number 3.14. My radius this time, now we need to be careful because this 6 centimeters is all the way from one side to the other side of this circle on the top. But we only want half that distance because remember the radius is only from the centre of the circle to the edge, not all the way across. So what we're going to have to do is split this in two. So the radius is going to be 6 divided by 2, so half it, which is 3. So my radius squared is going to be 3 squared, multiplied by the height, which is 9. And we've done the hard part now, we just need to put it into our calculator. So 3.14 multiplied by 3 squared multiplied by 9 gives us 254.34. And again, we're in centimetres, so it should be cubic centimetres. If it was in metres, it would be cubic metres. If it was in kilometres, it would be cubic kilometres. I think generally you're going to see centimetres though. Okay. So what you can do now is have a wee go at the volume of a cylinder practice questions. And just let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.